Hey guys, Thomas Perkins here, Fish Guru Aquatic. We're still working on some kinks with the camera, so until then we're just going to keep doing what we've been doing, shooting videos on my phone and uploading them to YouTube. I wanted to cover this video. It's not about blue, but we are going to talk about some plants today. We're going to talk about the plants that I got from the auction, what I'm doing to propagate them, how I'm propagating them, and that should be enough to fill out this video. We only got like 15 minutes, so let's get at it. Alright, so to start off with, I have this plant. And I'm going to call it this plant because I don't actually know the name of it, because it wasn't listed on the card when I bought it. So, well, it was, it did have a name, it just, that name is a neurological condition, so that's not it. So if you actually know what this plant is called, it's doing great under medium light, with a nice, healthy substrate underneath. So, anyway. Right next to that is a narrow leaf Ludwigia, very tightly packed, and you can see right here in front, that's a Rotala. So they're very similar, they're just like the subtle differences. Like the Rotala is very compact and very symmetrical, as this Ludwigia is not, so kind of a star pattern. Up here is some of my gigantic hydrophilia. I'm actually going to trim this back some and replant it because it's ridiculous. I've got another one up here, but it's not doing quite as well because this tank is... These guys kick up a lot of mulm, and it just gets into the water column. So I'm going to get them out of there. This is a Cryptocoraneae retrospiralis. I think I'm saying that correctly. It's actually put on a new leaf, which is right up here in front, going up towards the top. So we'll keep an eye on that. Most of the plants are in 3 tanks. I did that way on purpose to kind of consolidate them. This here is, I'm going to pull this airstone out quick. There's no filter on this thing, it's just airstone of plants. This plant here is a Ludwigia red, obviously. It's growing in quite nicely, but it is losing the red coloration. This is all new growth since when I've got it. So, in the back here, there's some Vallicin area in here. When I'm propagating out for the 125. Hopefully I can keep those in the ground. So I want to have that tank planted because it'll help me cut down on water changes and improve water quality for my geos, which are currently fighting almost constantly. I'm very worried about these fish. I've got to get them in my 125, but I have other people in play, so if they delay, then I delay. So they are getting larger, they're getting more aggressive, and they're getting more assertive. So I really need to get them. I don't want to split them up because whenever I go to drain the tank down and start scooping out things, they're going to scatter, and I don't want to break up pairs because I don't know how hard or easy it is to reform a pair of geophagus tabatos. Anyway, head over to this tank, which is the Marble Angels. We have, this is a smaller hygrophilia right up front. There's some more in the back there. There's a small stand of the retrospiralis right there, and there was some Ludwigia in here. Yeah, these are smaller versions. All that green leaves on top is all new growth from when I got these guys, so they're doing great. Over here as well, we have this tank actually with a CO2 reactor. I gotta make some more mix for it, so I'm going to try to do the sodium bicarbonate acid method, acetic acid method to create CO2, because I think it'll be better, but I gotta get the adapter for that. Let's go up top here and have a look. This one is doing a lot better than in the other tank. The tank has a dirt base. This is an actual planted tank substrate, so we'll just go through here real quick and take a look. Obviously we have the Ludwigia red right here. This is Cryptocornea retrospinalis. There's a Cryptocornea wendeti right there. This is the same massive hygrophilea that's in the other tank. I just trimmed it up. It's doing great, so I'm going to actually trim the other ones. I just didn't want to trim them all up and have them all die on me. There is a Cryptocornea wendeti gecko green right there, which is a really cool plant. I'm going to let her find that one. There is a Amazon sword right back there. And back here is another of the small leaf Ludwigia. So, those are the plants I got. I'm working on propagating them out right now. So how I do that with the stem plants is, say like this hygrophilea. I just take a small, very sharp knife, and I cut between these two leaves here. There's already a root structure sitting there. I'll just cut right there, and then the base of this plant will form a new, will fork out and form a new plant, while the top of this plant will become an entirely new plant, and we'll just replant it somewhere else in the tank. So that's how you repropagate those guys. The same thing with this Ludwigia red. I'm just going to trim that off and keep moving pieces around. The Cryptocorneas are very slow growing, so it's going to take a while to actually get them to bud off. They're going to reproduce by budding, which is a very interesting plant method. If you let them go long enough, they're just going to form a nice thick mat. And you really don't want to move these guys too much because as you move them, they become stressed out and they actually die back a little bit. So, anyway. Let's see, this right here is new growth off this plant. You can see these are the top leaves when I got it a couple days ago. It's growing very quickly. I should have lots of this available really soon. And obviously I still have water lettuce. I'm keeping this small batch here in the grow out tank. So that's cool. I've got a few small, I've got an Amazon sword Borelli over here there behind me. I actually haven't checked on this Amazon sword yet, but it looks good. I'll cover up the bubbles for a second. It's looking good. It's got a couple new leaves on it that are starting to pop up. This substrate's pretty good. There is a layer of dirt on the bottom of it down here. Very thin layer to kind of add some extra organic material to it. Tank-wise, there is no there are no actual fish in this tank. There are a couple of snails, some Malaysian trumpet snails in here. I do feed them to keep them happy so they don't eat my plants. So snails are not a bad thing. It's just a different thing. But yeah, that's my plant structure right now. I've got a couple of different varieties. Also, this plant seems to reproduce by can propagate it the same way you can like the other stem plants. So that's cool. I only had a couple strands of it when I first got here. It does like to be planted though. It doesn't like floating. I tried that. It kind of started to fall apart on me. So you can see like there's a slight discoloration in the leaves here. That's what I was once floating. But in the 48 hours this plant has been planted here, it's already put off bright green leaves up there. So definitely plant it, whatever it is. And it's very aggressively growing, so we'll have to keep it trimmed up very nicely. But yeah, those are my plants. Like I said, I'm going to try to get this 55 right here and get some decent substrate in the bottom of it, and just do nothing but plants in this tank. Maybe a few small tetras or something like that, and that will be what I use to grow out all of my plants. I am going to move this hygrophilea that's up here because it's kind of gross looking. I also have an Anubis over here and a Java fern, but this is a Pletco grow out tank, so I'm not too worried about the plants in here. Also a few small, it's kind of cold out here, is that what you're looking? Yeah. But there's a few small bristlenose plecos growing around here. So you don't want to give them too many plants because they'll eat them if they can. So that's why there's no plants in this tank. Everything else is planted though, except for blue and the blue eyed somethings. But they've got enough water volume to keep them going for a while. Alright, so that's my video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully I can start offering these plants. I am going to be going on to getgills.com. Fantastic new site run by Dan at Dan's Fish and his family. So it's a great site. I just have to get some things in order before I do that. So anyway, yeah. So hopefully we should be able to propagate out some decent plants and get them nice and healthy and offer them to you guys as things. Also, some of these are going towards my Saving Time Gallon planted tank build that I'm doing here in town. If I ever get the green light on it, I'm kind of excited for it. I really want to build that tank, and I think even if she flakes on me, I'm going to go ahead and build it because it sounds like a lot of fun to build. I don't want to actually show you the plans for it because it might take a couple months to get that done, but if we do wind up doing it, it'll be so much fun. Anyway, I'll start Java moss over here with the angelfish tank. Just gives them a little grazing site. There was a super gangster cherry shrimp in here, but I don't know if it still is in here. But if he is, he's been hiding very well. But, yep. Alright. Y'all stay classy. I don't know how I'm going to end these videos anymore. Thanks, none of something beautiful. I will talk to you later. Bye, guys.